So those of you who know me through skating, but don't know me, like aren't my next door neighbor, probably wonder why I claim or do know Deanna Stellato and Maxime Deschamps um, of Canada, who competed in Canada. Okay, so Deanna is from the Chicago area. Yes. So she was going about her merry life. I had stopped skating. What is an is a licensed esthetician, and was like the manager kind of a group practice down in the city. Was like I believe, taking the train in there. Married. Yes, Michael Dudek is her husband. Um, I know I have not met him. And so uh, Deanna was going on her merry way. And a lot of you have probably heard this story that she went on a work retreat, and they had like, at the lunch, they had like a game where every person got like a fortune cookie type thing, like a little question, and you had to open it and answer it yourself. And then everyone around the table had to answer. And so her question was, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? And she told me that and tells us in interviews, she just blurted out, I would go to the Olympics and win a medal. And then she kind of like was startled herself because she didn't plan to say that. And she had no idea that that was still in her head, her heart, anywhere in her, that was unfinished, that her skating career was very much unfinished. She did have to retire from having, I believe, 3 major hip injuries in a very short amount of time leading up to an Olympics. And that was when things like Tara was retiring right after she won the Olympics at 15, and Sarah Hughes was retired so young. So Deanna thought, well, you just don't skate when you're older. So I've lost my chance. I'm going to be too old in 4 years. And she also said she and Jenny Kirk had like a rivalry where they go back and forth and back and forth. And so Jenny won Junior Worlds. Deanna won the Junior Grand Prix final. Deanna won Novice Nationals. I'm not quite sure. She has scored a 6 in artistic under the old system as a single skater. And so after she had said this at this work retreat, she took a couple weeks to think about it. And then her skates, her old skates, and I saw these skates, they were old, okay? They had no support left in the boot where you want support for ankles. Oh, good grief. And I think she got them sharpened. But I was getting ready for a freestyle on Saturday mornings at the Wilmette Ice Rink, and it was great ice time. No one would wake up for it. So it was like some adult skaters and then one of the coaches and some of that coach's skaters. And Deanna comes in, bleach blonde hair. Like really, like Marilyn Monroe blonde. But like fit as could be. In like leggings and like a sweatshirt or something. And she comes down the ramp. I'm putting on my skates. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, 2016. I didn't know who she was, but the coach did. He had skated with her. He goes, that is one of the greatest. I'm like, okay. And so, we're just like, hi, what's your name? Amy, Deanna. Oh, nice to meet you. Okay, great. We're putting on our skates, getting ready, minding our own business, got on the ice. She started to do crossovers. I was like, who is that? That is somebody, okay? I could tell by that. She had probably skated maybe on 3 public sessions, and she had like an axle double toe combination at the time. This was probably like March of 2016. She was trying to fly under the radar. She didn't want anyone to recognize her. She didn't want to tell anyone that she had been talking to her former coach who had moved to Florida, who I knew when I was growing up. And she was just going to play around and see what skills she could get back, because she won novice nationals in like what, 1997 with the triple Lutz. That's still what people are doing at senior nationals. So her coach is like, give it a try. So she was in great condition as an athlete. She just had not been skating. But just is not really the proper word there. She had not been skating for 16 years. So I went out and I looked at the sign-in sheet to see what her name was. Look on Wikipedia. I'm like, okay. So Deanna and I skated together a few days a week, including Saturdays for like 3 hours in the morning. That whole time when she was still working, and then she was working and training someone to take her place so she could take a leave of absence. She was going to try out singles. She was going to go down to Florida to try things out with her coach. And the head of USFS, United States Figure Skating, was down there at the time and said, you should do pairs, Deanna. Recognized her, said, you should do pairs. That's how it happened. And I have kept in touch with her throughout this time. And when her partner in the United States, Nate Bartholomew, was injured, he was going to retire. He had surgery and he was planning to retire. So she needed to find another partner. She really liked pairs and she felt like it was her best opportunity for success from the United States. So there were no partners that were appropriate in age. They offered her a 16-year-old partner, and Deanna is now 39, okay? So she was like, wait a second here. So hence the move to Canada, if you're wondering. So she went to Canada and then couldn't get released by United States Figure Skating, couldn't get home and cross the border for 2 years to see her husband and her mom. And they have been through so much together. They were locked out of rinks because she couldn't represent Canada and she wasn't representing the United States. So they were locked out of rinks. Hence the reason they do the death spiral that they do. They were working on a pond to skate, doing lifts in the middle of a forest. And they were doing things that they could do on a pond. You can't throw someone in a triple jump outdoors in Canada. They'll like be blown into the tree of the forest right over there, or off the pond. So they had to do things that were safe, that they were planted on the ground. So they learned the most difficult starting value, death spiral. Hence, she does the forward outside death spiral. That is a little info for you. And yes, I did go to see her at Skate America and be reunited and meet Maxime, who is a classy, classy guy. And this time when Deanna has been ill, it's been frightening for them, especially when they didn't know for like 2 months what they were fighting. And she couldn't breathe. To not be able to breathe, and has got to be, they had such a great thing going after Skate America, right? If you wondered why things kind of fell apart a little bit, that was why. Deanna couldn't breathe or swallow, you know, and, but after meeting Maxime one time in person, I knew he may be younger than her, but I knew that he was like a big brother as far as that he would never put her in harm's way. If it was not safe for them to skate, they would have withdrawn. He would not have allowed her to skate. She is fiercely competitive and also one of the nicest people you'll ever know. So yes, I do know Deanna personally, and I'm not just making it up and like reading backstories and coming up with them. She helped me learn. I was working on my axle at the time when we met. She helped me learn how a camel sit spin, how to get faster as the spin goes along. It's supposed to get faster when you go from position to position. And she was never pretentious, never bossy, never annoyed that the kids, the little girls doing toe loops and spinning around together were right where she needed to try her triple Lutz. But she went from an axel to a triple Lutz from March to maybe May, maybe June. Yeah. It was astounding. I've never seen anything like it. It's she is absolutely one of a kind, and I thought I would just include that because I think I'm the only one who has that story. So